Hi everyone, so I'm here today. The weather isn't great and I'm all suited up, or just about. So we're kind of coming towards the back end of the spring, and the weather has been absolutely atrocious the whole spring. So I'm a bit concerned the bees are going to need some syrup until the good weather kicks in and go out and get some nectar. They're getting bits of pollen at the minute. So I'll give us a minute and I'll send you along at the apiary, and I'll just show you how I'm just going to add a bit of syrup to the 3 colonies that I've got left. I started the year with 5 and now I've got 3, so this is why it's so important to get them fed and look after them. So it is quite cold, so I want to try to be as quick as possible with the bees. And the way I'm going to do that is just have everything ready. So I'll literally take the roof off, take the old crown board on and put the new one on with the syrup and the roof back on, and it should be as quick as that. The time will be more in the setting up and preparing rather than the actual doing. Three of them. And there's another 2 crown boards. These are shit for eating, you know. I'm just going to take this lid off. Now I'm basically going to replace this board with another one that's got sugar syrup, and I'm taking this fondant off. So there's a few bees underneath. I think I'll just stand them. I think I'll just place them on there and they'll fly back into this hive. So this is not a big hive, and you can see they're dead calm, but they will start to get a bit agitated because it's not particularly warm, and that's ultimately all I'm doing. Actually, I would just like to see if the bees... Oh, they can't. Oh no, they cannot. Now, I'm going to have to... There was something I need and I forgot. So I'm just going to go... I'll just try and keep this closed up a bit. And I'm going to go and get the porter bee escape. The syrup is better than the fondant because... Is that on straight? Yeah. It's better than the fondant because it'll stimulate the queen to start laying more eggs, because there's not really any nectar about. Yeah, I hate these. That's it. This is no. That's it. I hate these strap things. I always get them. That wasn't on right, but that's now put on right. So that's that one done. I'll just put the bricks on top. This is just in case we have any heavy winds, and it just keeps the hive more secure, and that's what the strap's there for. So there's still bees under here, a lot of them, and I need them to go back into the hive. So I'm just going to place that there. And at the end, I'll just have to shake in. So this is the next one I'm doing. There's a couple of bees on my brick here. Do you want to have a close-up look? There you are. Right, I'll get my syrup ready again, just like I did the last time. I've left the lid off. I'm trying to be dead organised, and I'm not, basically. So I'm just going into my second hive. This one has got this eek on that just creates a bit of a barrier to allow that fondant to be there. And the fondant is basically just made up of 1 part sugar, 1 part water. So there are bees on there. Just going to get them off, carefully place them up there, and place this fondant. And again, they're really quite calm. You know what, I think I'm going to try placing this fondant at the very end, because that's where the bees are. They just haven't got as much room to get through, but they can actually get through. So this is, I'm putting a new roof on this one. And I'm wondering if I should put that eek back on as well. Let's see how we get on just with this. I've been painting all the hives up. That's on, isn't it? That looks straight. That's that one done. I don't know where the rest of that's gone. Anyway, so again, I need all these bees from this hive to go back into their own hive. So I'm just going to stand up there. There's still loads of bees on them. And then this last one, so let's let the fondant put in, the syrup put in, I mean. Oh, I'm a thing missing. So I got 6 eggs today. Not the worst and not the best, but Zuma, whoops, is starting to lay, and she lays these lovely creamy coloured ones. You can see the colour difference compared to the blue and the white. Just getting rid of all the rubbish. And I'd be having a look at my eggs just to show you. Some come out completely pure clean and other ones are a bit dirty, and it's just mud from when it's been raining, and the hens go from the muddy ground into the coop. So that's all that is. So I've read that with freshly laid eggs like this, they're laid with a bloom on them. It's basically a covering across the whole egg, and if you wash them, the eggs won't last anywhere near as long as if you just leave them. So allegedly you can take these unwashed eggs, put them in the fridge, and they will last 6 months. To be honest, ours never normally last more than a week. And the freshest egg we've ever had is probably about in 10 minutes after it was laid. Sometimes I do a little bit of basic cooking up here, like a egg sandwich or bacon sandwich. So one day I'll do a video that shows you that, including a fantastic little tool used to make a toasty on the open fire, but that's for another day. This is Lola. Lola is one of the first hens that I got, and Lola lays blue eggs. Lovely little blue eggs like this one here. Pale blue, but like a ducky blue. And the eggs are absolutely delicious. Honestly, you should see the size of them yolks, and they're deep orange. They're amazing. Nothing that you get from the supermarket. So I'm going to make a cup of tea for Lee. Just put some water in here. Lee loves to have a cup of tea. Sorry, actually it's coffee, it's not tea. Today's just a lovely Sunday afternoon and we've had quite a bit of rain, but the sun's out at the minute and it's just glorious. We're right at the end of what I would consider winter, but technically we're nearly at the end of spring. Not that we've had any spring this year. So in the past couple of years, some of the stuff I've grown on the allotment has been all your typical tomatoes. I just put in a polytunnel. Actually, one of my nicest tomatoes is a variety called Victoria, and you just buy them in Sainsbury's supermarket. And I have to say, I don't often shop at Sainsbury's, mind. I'm more of an Aldi little kind of person, but anyway, I often used to go there because the tomatoes were lovely. And I read on some Facebook group somewhere that you can actually just cut the tomato in half and put it in a just put in a little thing of soil of compost and they'll germinate, and sure enough they did. So I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but I had a load of Victoria tomatoes from just one tiny little cherry tomato about that size. They were absolutely delicious. Anyway, so tomatoes, cucumbers, something else I grew for the first time 2 years ago, and it grew really well. I know some of the people on the plot were quite impressed with sweet corn, and maybe it was just because we had a good summer, I don't know, but they were really easy to grow, dead easy to look after. But I've grown onions, courgettes, beetroot, peas. I absolutely love pea pods, just sat outside in the summer on a chair, just munching away through pea pods. What else have I grown? I've got a little apple and pear tree planted, but I've not had any fruit off them yet. And I know with some fruit trees you have to wait about 5 years or so before you can get fruit off them. And I've now got 11 chickens. I'll go through all the names in a minute. So we've got Lila and Lola. They both lay blue eggs, and they are cream leg bars or leghorns, I'm not quite sure. I've got Lola, Lila and Dolly. They all lay blue eggs and they're the same. I've got Booba. Booba, by the way, is named after, it's actually Boba Fett, the female Mandalorian. And I've got Hyacinth Bucket, or should I be saying Bouquet. And I've got Clarice from Silence of the Lambs. And actually I'm just going to have a look at my little chart, because you know what I forgot. I've also got Hyacinth, Boba Fett, Lila, Dolly Parton, Lila and Lola. Oh, I've got Nora Batty, she's a good one. And I've got Starlight, and the last one, oh, that's Clarice. So that's all of them, 11 chickens. And they're just great fun to watch. All my nieces and nephews and my grandson named all the hens. And a girl from the estate that I live in, named Clarice as well, out of Silent of the Lambs. Yeah, so that's all my 11 chickens. So I ended up in beekeeping really quite by accident. The Allotment Association were thinking about setting up an apiary, and one of the people on the committee said to us just quite out of the blue, do you fancy doing a beekeeper's course and we'll do beekeeping together? And I have to be honest, I was so naive at what's involved in beekeeping. I genuinely thought, oh, you know what, I'll get a hive, I'll get some bees to go in it, and a couple of times a year I'll go up and get the honey, it'll be great. And I just thought that would be my involvement. There is so much to beekeeping, and I am still an absolute complete beginner. I'm learning all the time. But what you're really doing is trying to manage swarming to not lose your bees, trying to get the most honey. If you want to expand your colonies, you need to understand about doing splits, demery splits. You need to understand the makeup of a hive, how the bottom brood box is basically where the queen is, and she lays all her eggs. You have a queen excluder on top of the brood box to stop the queen getting up into the next box, which is where the honey that me and you eat is made. And you don't want the queen getting in there because she'll start laying all the eggs, the baby bees in that part, and you don't want that as part of your honey. I mean, to be honest, I don't even know where to start. There is just so much involved in beekeeping, and how naive was that to think I'll just get a hive, put some bees in it, and I'll just pop up a couple of times a year and get the honey. Anyway, so that's how I got into beekeeping. So when I'm doing these videos, I might be wrong, but I imagine there'll be some people watching one video, then the next, and they'll be thinking, you know, sometimes when she talks, she's got a really bad lisp, and other days she hasn't got a lisp at all. I have got quite a bit of a lisp today, and you're probably wondering why she speaks so differently all the time. And on a different video I'm going to go into the fuller reasons why, but in summary, and I always like to explain this to people. I don't know why, I know I don't have to, but I like to. I just feel happier at explaining. So I had a head cancer. It was actually 10 years ago this year. It was back in 2014. I was diagnosed with a cancer right at the very back of my nose. Apparently they caught it just before it was going to attach to my brain. And I'll go into that full story another day, but in summary, that's why my voice is different. Sometimes I have tongue seizures, and the way I would describe it, you know when you get a cramp in your leg and your whole leg just tightens up and goes dead stiff. If you imagine your tongue doing the same all the way down the back of your throat. The first time it happened I was absolutely terrified, but again I'll go into that story another time. So my head cancer left us with loads of different side effects that affect everything to do with my hearing, my nose, my speech, my swallowing. So in a short story, that's why my voice changes. I can't control it. Nothing in particular triggers it. It just some days it's not affected at all, other days it's affected a little bit, and at its worst I cannot speak, I cannot swallow water or anything on the worst days. So anyway, I just wanted to explain that. So having just talked about my cancer there, I'm really fortunate to be able to say that I did recover from it, I had some intensive radiotherapy and chemotherapy, and I know I'm very fortunate compared to a lot of people, so that is really good, and it really does make you contemplate your life and focus on things that you may not have put as much focus or as much emphasis on your life. And to be honest, getting a shed and getting its allotment has been all part of that journey. So I am fortunate to come out of the other end of it, and it really does just make you want to pack as much into your life of the things that you enjoy doing. And that's totally different for everyone. I know a lot of people that are watching this are probably interested in whether it's bees, chickens or allotments, but yeah, your interest could be absolutely anything. And it really is important that you find a way to fit that into your life and get from it as much as you possibly can. Find ways to make it work. Don't find excuses. Find solutions to fill your life with whatever it is that makes you happy. So in the future, I would like to be able to do some videos along at the apiary where I'm doing some bee inspections. I really hope that I get a good honey harvest this year, and I'll take you through what I'm doing with the honey. I've previously made candles with some of the beeswax, so maybe that's something I could video. And I do, on another video, I know I've already said that I'm going to cover my cancer in a different video, and I will do that. But I guess what I'm keen to know is if anybody's got any questions about that, because it's a really difficult thing to face in life. And I think what I learned very quickly is, you know, cancer, if you're the person with the cancer, it doesn't just affect you, it really does affect your partner, your husband, your wife, your family, people that care about you. And I think it can affect those people as much as it affects you, and that might sound a bit bizarre, but it really is true. I mean, I can talk about the treatment I went through, and it was really quite difficult being essentially screwed down to a board and stuck in a thin machine, and very, very claustrophobic. And how do you cope with that? I'll go into quite a lot of detail how I found my own way to be completely and utterly relaxed, or as much as I could be. I'll explain all that in a different video. But if you've got any questions about anything, really, just pop them in the comments there, and I'll try my best to answer any of them. So for those of you who's decided to join us in my journey, I just want to thank you very much. It feels good to be able to share this with people who are interested, and I really look forward to hearing from you and seeing you in the next video. Bye from Shell Shed.